Tech in 10 is another in the series of Boardmaker Online to Boardmaker 7 transition. This video is going to look at how to create interactive activities within the new Boardmaker 7 editor. You'll notice many similar features in what you're used to, except the amount of templates have increased, as well as some of the features within those templates, and along with some of the other things we've already talked about in the printable section of the videos. Remember to access the Boardmaker 7 editor. It will be installed on your computer, and you simply click it and either stay signed in if it's your computer, or you can log in with your information. You'll be brought to the page that looks like this, which is the dashboard that we've talked about several times. To create a new interactive activity from template, you follow the same steps that you've done for previous activities. Simply click New, select Interactive, which will bring up the interactive templates. Before we selected Printable, which brought up all of the printable templates. Now we're going to select Interactive, and you'll notice again, you have categories on your left, a search bar at the top, and other filters. You'll also notice, much like the printable activities, you can also select to create from a sample now, or simply create from the blank template that Boardmaker provides. Remember, select from a sample is similar to finding an activity in the online community, editing it for your needs, and then saving it as your own. We're going to start by looking at how to select from a sample. So we're in the interactive new template activities. For this purpose, I'm going to scroll down to visual schedules. And I want to create an interactive visual schedule, but I want to do it from a sample. Let's try this one. And I'm going to select from sample. And you will be brought to a page that looks somewhat like this. Just like your old interactive activities, you'll have the red text on the page that tells you what to do. This says, do not place anything in this section. Students will drag items from the to-do section into the finished section. Down here it says, place schedule items or tasks into the boxes below. So these are what the students will manipulate. Anything blank will be hidden. So let's take a look at all of these first. This is from sample, so these are filled in. Now, why would you start from sample? Well, the reason is if you have most of these on your schedule, then you don't have to do anything to the page. However, if there were some things you wanted to change on the page, for instance, if this student didn't have Spanish, but they had French that day, simply click and start typing. And hit enter. And just like that, you can change what's on the sample. But it's a lot less work than creating from scratch. Similarly, if you go up to, let's do music. If they didn't have music that day, but had, let's do quiet time, simply do the same thing just like that. And you can edit the activity as your own. Now, once you file, save this activity, don't forget that step is very important, as we've talked about. Now you are ready to play the activity and see what it looks like when you play it. So I'm going to drag up what the student has to do. Or this could even be on a smart board in the classroom. And then the student then, or students can then drag things to the finished box. I'm going to stop that and go back. So the nice thing again about doing this from a sample is a lot of these pictures are already filled in. And if it's things you will be already doing, you keep them. And if it's not, you can easily change them by clicking on the box, making sure your blue fences around there, start typing, hitting return, and just like that, changing what's in that box and then saving it as your own. Once you have saved it, make sure you return to dashboard, and you'll be brought back to your dashboard that we started with. So that was an interactive active activity from a sample. How did I get there? I hit new. I went to interactive. For this purpose, I went to visual schedules. I found the one I wanted and I selected from sample. You could also make active activities just like before using the interactive templates that are already here without samples filled in. Let's do a sorting activity doing that. Again, go to new. Interactive, remember printable and interactive are your templates. And I want to do a sorting activity. So this is nothing different than you're used to. Remember I said the majority of changes for Boardmaker 7 are in its method of accessing, saving, and using, but not in the creation so much. So let's go to sorting. You'll notice similar templates from what you're used to. 3 groups of items, 2 groups of items. So for purposes of this, let's simply go to 2 groups of 10 items. Now where before I selected from a sample, this time I want to create it on my own from a blank template. So I'm going to hit create. And I'll be brought to a page again that looks like this, extremely familiar to what you're used to. You have the template brought up. You have text in red that tells you what you need to do to create the activity. So let's look at that first. Place titles and symbols for each group below. So it looks like these are editable, and if I click on them and I find my blue fence, I notice that is true. Down here it says place items for each group into the boxes. So that's where I'm creating my sorting activity. Blank buttons will automatically be placed here at the start of the activity. Blank buttons will be hidden. Don't place anything here. So super easy, right? So I can now start creating this activity within my editor. Simply go up to group 1. For purposes of this, let's sort fruits and vegetables. So go to group 1 and I'm going to type fruits and hit enter. This will bring up pictures for me to use. So I'm going to select this as my label. Fruit. Up here, I can type vegetables. Hit return. And there is my picture. So now that I have my labels here, I can then simply add images to these boxes. Now remember, there's multiple ways to do that. First, I can highlight the box, the button, and the blue fences around it. I can start typing and hitting enter or return. And then I can select my pictures. Remember, you can also search from the web, and then you have all this different search criteria in the new Boardmaker 7 editor. And I can simply do that over and over again for my fruits. Now, what happens if I'm having trouble thinking of a fruit? Well, the great thing about that, remember, is if I go over to my symbols on the side and I search fruit, it gives me a folder full of lots of different fruits. So I don't have to think of them on my own. I really like this feature because it does save time, especially if you're thinking about categories of things and putting multiple things in there. You don't have to come up with them on your own. Let's do that again for vegetables. Again, a folder comes up of vegetable pictures, and then I can simply click and drag them into the boxes over here. Now, if I didn't want to do that, I could also search over here and just type. Let's do carrot. Or remember, like I said before, I can simply start typing in the box, hitting return, and getting pictures that way. I can also do it from the web, just like that, by clicking over there. And now, just like that, in under a couple minutes, I've made an interactive template activity from Boardmaker 7. Not much different from what you're used to from Boardmaker Online, but a lot of cleaned up looking interface features on the editing page, and also great sorting of symbols to make it easier to create. Remember, big remember, go up to File and Save As, especially if it's your first time saving it. After you do that, you can play the activity, test it out, turn up my volume so you can hear that.
No, peas belongs in vegetables. That's right, apple belongs in fruits. That's right, beans belongs in vegetables. That doesn't belong there. That's right, bell pepper belongs in vegetable. That's right, cherry belongs in fruits.
And then you have your activity ready to go. If I want to stop that, I hit stop. The activity's already saved. So then I can hit return to dashboard and I'm brought back to my main page that looks like this. So far we've created a interactive activities from the templates from sample, and we've also done it from blank template without from the sample, just created it from the blank template. So I want to look at one more thing, and this is new, and I really think this is one of the best new features of Boardmaker 7 compared to Boardmaker Online. It's the ability to have one activity with multiple interactive templates combined into it. In order to show this, I'm going to go to my New tab. I'm going to select Interactive. And I'm going to select a book for purposes of this. Let's just do a book. Let's choose this one here, and we'll hit Create. And again, you'll be brought to your page that looks like this. So here you can create a book. So it shows your cover, your pages. You could go in and delete any of these, duplicate them if you wanted to. So let's start by making a book about fall. So let's just title it Fall. And then it says place a symbol below. So if I click on that box, I type fall and hit return, I can select any of these images. So let's choose that one, and there's the cover of my book. Let's make a page, next page, place a symbol here. So we're going to click the box, start typing. Text goes here, so let's start typing here. In the fall. Let's just do a couple pages for purposes of this activity. Let's do another one. In the fall, I see apples. And let's do one more here. Let's do leaves. Alright, so now I have a book, okay, and I have the preview pages seem to not be coming up, but the book is there. If I wanted to play this book and look at it, I can do that. So there's the book I just made, and you can keep it as simple as that. But now the real nice thing about this new Boardmaker 7 editor is the ability to add inside of this same activity other interactive templates. So for purposes of this, I might add multiple choice questions. I might add a sorting activity. I might add anything else related to the concept I'm trying to convey with my book. So just for purposes of this, I'm going to add a multiple choice question. So in order to combine templates in one activity, I'm in my book. I simply hit New Page. It's going to say, what kind of page do you want? And I'm going to select a new page from a template. Okay. I'm going to go to Interactive. For purposes of this, I'm going to go to Question and Answer. And let's choose a multiple choice question. I'm going to select that. It's going to ask me which page do I want, and it doesn't matter because these are all the same, so I'm just going to select that one. And now I have a multiple choice question embedded in my book. It goes down to the last page, so if I wanted to move that, I can simply pick it up and drag it up and place it right where I'd like it, and now I can make my question. What do you see in fall? Again, there's my question. Place the correct answer here. So for purposes of this, I'm just going to write leaves. And select that one. Wrong answer, so that could be anything. Let's do snowman. Again, just for purposes of this. And another wrong answer here. Santa. Again, in the stores you might see him. So there's my multiple choice activity embedded in my book. And now if I go to play this activity, my book's here, here, here. And now check it out. I get to a question, interactive question, right within my book. Now remember, this feature is not available yet in the new software, and it may not be available for the initial rollout, but it's something that they're working on. Again, it's the ability to add a new page from a template, so you could combine interactive activities into one template. Could be great for so many different things. For books, if you did a book, you could have questions built in or sorting type activities that related to the book. You could do a modified morning meeting or circle time with a calendar, and then various weather sorting activities related to that, or any type of combined interactive activities into one activity. But again, it's not available probably for the first rollout. Will be a feature coming soon, one arguably that I'm the most excited about. All right. So again, just to recap, this video was all about the interactive templates. Again, you can create interactive templates from templates that are listed under interactive. You can create them from the sample that is provided if it has an S on there, or you can create it from the blank template. What's the benefit of creating from a sample? Remember, if it's something that you would probably use the pictures they use in the sample for, then you might as well use what they have without having to recreate the wheel. You could easily then create on your own with the template as well to make an interactive activity out of any of these categories or templates that are provided. The last thing we showed was how to combine interactive activities into one activity using templates. That will probably not be available for the first rollout, but is something that's being worked on and something we are looking forward to. I hope this video was helpful as always, and thanks for watching.